everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Julie. This is my channel is called Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. I'm kind of regretting that name just a little bit because it's kind of a mouthful. And I noticed like a couple of shout outs I've gotten. People are like totally butchering it. They're like Kansas City, Colorado World, or whatever. They're close, but anyway, sorry guys. I guess I didn't put a ton of thought into that name. I mean, I thought I liked the name. I just didn't realize it was gonna be like a lot to chew on. Anyway, too late to change it now probably because we are on lucky number 13, video number 13. So, I don't know, it's probably gonna stick around. So anyway, I got a couple things to show you today. Not tons, but maybe tons. I don't know. This shouldn't be too long, but I don't think it'll be super short. Sorry, the cat is like really wanting some attention right now. So she's climbing on my notes. Okay, so let's just hop into, why don't we do haul? Let's do a little haul. You know, I'm trying to be good, but I haven't been perfect. So first thing, shout out to Christine from Stitch All the Things. Hi, Christine. I am so excited for you that you have unlimited internet now and you can watch all the Flosstubes. That is awesome. But anyway, she enabled me a little bit with her Chatelaine Poison Garden unboxing, her European cross stitch company kit. Now the Chatelaine Poison Garden, it's been on my to buy list, like absolutely every intention of buying it, but I thought, you know, like I'll buy it eventually, like it's not a priority, especially because I'm not really supposed to be like, you know, shopping right now. But they were having a sale, a 20% off sale through Valentine's Day, and I was still like, no, I'm gonna wait. They'll have more sales. Like they, you know, she has 20% off sales somewhat regularly. And when I say she, I mean Martina's daughter, who's taken over for the company. So I was like, I'll wait. And then Christine from Stitch All the Things did her unboxing. And I was like, damn it. Fine. I'm gonna get it. So I got it with 20% off. Now there's not actually any really good pictures of it. Here's the one from the website. You know, it's pretty terrible. But on Instagram, I found a couple of pretty good pics of at least the center of it. I don't know if anyone's actually completed this one yet. I think it came out in the summer of 2017, and I don't know that anyone's finished it. So I found two people on Instagram who had like some pretty good representation. So the first is Girl with a Needle, who also totally enabled me to buy this pattern. And here's what, you know, that's just the center that she's got done. And then I found another girl, the Yiling Crafts, and I think she's mostly a sewer, but I guess she started working on this, and she had a really cool picture too. So that maybe gives you a little bit of a better idea. It's got like these deep teals and purples. So pretty. So I bought the pattern, but it's so expensive to kit up, and so I don't know when I'm actually going to start it. I think I need to save a little bit. Even like just the center block, I was like, maybe I can just buy the threads for like the center and then buy the rest later. But I put like all the threads in my cart, and it was $100 just for like the center threads, and that doesn't include fabric, and it's expensive. So I bought it, but I don't know when I'm gonna start it. But then something kind of serendipitously happened yesterday where I ended up with fabric for it. So at least I've got that taken care of, because fabric for a pattern like that is gonna be like a good $45. So I went to, Yesterday I went to our local craft consignment store. It's in Denver. It's called the Craft Box, and they have knitting, sewing, scrapbooking, quilting, beading, everything, like all of the hobbies that we all like. And what they do is they buy your stash that you don't want anymore, and then they resell it for really, really great prices. So I got a couple of things when I was there, and I didn't feel too guilty because their prices are so great that, you know, even though I'm not really supposed to be shopping, I thought that'd be a way to like scratch the itch without spending a ton of money. And I actually found fabric for Poison Garden. So it's 28 count Jobelin. Now, I've never actually stitched on Jobelin, but it was too good of a deal to pass up. So it's a 36 by 39 piece, and I needed a 30 by 30. So it's even more than I needed, but it was $12. And it's a nice neutral. It's called Cameo Peach. Or maybe the fabric is Jobelin Cameo and the color is peach. It's a very, very, very pale peach. Like mostly just more like an off-white. So I kind of wanted more of just a white for that piece, but I think that the peachiness, I mean, it's going to be fine. It's going to work fine. It's mostly light enough. It'll be good. So anyway, so I got my fabric for $12, so you cannot beat that. But I still don't have all the silks, which are so expensive. So baby steps. I don't know. I might just give in. I really need to save money. We had to fly unexpectedly to Illinois for a funeral, for a grandparent's funeral. So I had to drop a big chunk of change on airline tickets for that. So I really can't spend money right now. Anyway, okay. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, guys. So someday, that's someday, Christine, someday I'm gonna stitch that with you. So what else did I get at the craft box? Well, speaking of chatelaines, I got this chatelaine, the Weeping Willow Keep. I'd seen someone post this in the Facebook group recently, and it's really pretty, and I was like, ooh, that's a someday. Well, they had it for $4.39, so it's a now day. When am I gonna actually, you know, kit it up and work on it? Nah. No immediate plans. It was $4. What else did I grab while I was in there? I grabbed some Whisper, Rainbow Gallery Whisper thread for 89 cents. Oh yeah, and then I got these two little kits, but I didn't get them for the actual design. I got them for the supplies in the kits. So one is the company is called The Embroiderer, and the pattern is called A Needle Keeper, and it looks like this. It was $3. So I just thought I would take this 32 count fabric that comes with it and the threads. I'm not going to actually stitch the design. I thought the fabric was worth $3. I mean, it's not a huge piece, but I think these are silks in here. So yeah, it's just a little piece, but I don't know. Maybe it wasn't worth $3, but I guess I thought it was at the time. And the other one I bought is a Shepherd's Bush Cherry Heart. And again, I don't want to actually stitch this. I just wanted the piece of fabric in the silks. So this comes with like a decent size fabric. Just a really pretty white, something 32 count. And then it comes with there's definitely some silks. There's some DMC in here too, but it comes with some silks also. So I don't know. I thought that was a way to kind of build my fabric stash a little bit without actually you know, just buying the fabric outright. So anyway, so that's what I got at the craft box. Didn't spend very much money there. I felt pretty good. What else do we have for haul? Oh, so it was really cool. I ordered a Soda Stitch pattern from Trish at 3 Owl Threads. I don't know if she watches my videos, but if she does, hi Trish. Huge shout out to the service I got from that. I ordered it through her Facebook group, 3 Owl Threads. So I think it was a Thursday. Shoot, no, it was Monday or Tuesday. Anyway, I saw the pattern I wanted, and it looked like she didn't have any in stock, but I sent her a message, like I commented on the picture, and I was like, hey, if you have any of these left, like if someone didn't pay, I would love one. She responded back probably within like 10 minutes and was like, I do have some left. I was like, awesome. How do I order? Because I hadn't ever ordered from her group. And she's like, just send me a private message with your PayPal address and I'll invoice you. So I sent her the message. She sent me the invoice. I paid. I mean, this was all within like 30 minutes of me seeing the pattern I wanted. She shipped it out to me within an hour, and I got it like 2 days later. So it was pretty much like instant gratification. So huge shout out. Awesome service. I got the pattern so fast. And this is what I ordered. Fairy Tale Land 2. And I ordered this because Garrett Coffee Stitcher has been working on it, and it's so cute. And I mean, I've been thinking, oh, how cute, maybe someday. I wasn't in any hurry to get it. Wasn't sure I'd really ever get it. But the Beauty and the Beast section, it just kills me. Look at it. Is that not so cute? It's all cute, guys. Like, I mean, all of it is amazing. But that Beauty and the Beast is just slays me. So, still, I wasn't, like, probably going to stitch it anytime soon. But then I realized my sister's birthday is in April. And I decided I wanted to stitch something for her. But I couldn't quite find the right thing. I was looking on Etsy. And I found a few, like, maybes. But nothing was quite right. And then I realized I want to stitch the Beauty and the Beast section for her on this pattern. And then I was like, oh my God, she's not going to have any left. I'm going to have to like wait and wait and wait. And so I was so happy when she's like, yeah, I have some left. So I'm just going to stitch the Beauty and the Beast part. Now someday I will stitch the whole thing, I think, for myself. But for right now, I'm just going to make a little cute little mini out of just that section right there. And then kind of Priscillify it somehow, make it really cute, and send it off to my sister. And then maybe, you know, eventually I'll do some of the other little sections for her. But I do want to stitch the whole thing for myself eventually. So again, huge shout out Trish at 3 Owl Threads. You guys do not hesitate to order from her. Stellar service. Okay, what else do we get? Okay, so I live near Boulder, Colorado, and the only cross-stitching shop I knew of was a stitching shop, which is in Denver. So it's a little bit of a hike. It's like a 40-minute drive if there's no traffic. It's far enough that I don't want to do it all the time. But that said, I do realize how fortunate I am that I have an awesome cross-stitch shop, like somewhat near to me. And they have everything there. Everything. But, you know, it's a little bit of a hike. Someone on one of my videos, her name was Karen. She's like, hey, have you been to a store in Boulder called Gypsy Wools? And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, they have cross stitch stuff there. It's like a yarn store, but they have some cross stitch. And I was like, oh, really? Well, I'll have to check that out. So I go on their website and I look at their needlework section, and it's like right up my alley. It's a lot of prim patterns. Prairie Schooler, also a ton of Prairie Schooler, and then like Stacey Nash, Brenda Gervais, Pineberry, like just Carriage House samplings, a whole bunch of stuff. So I was like, ooh, okay, I'm gonna check that out. Turns out it's like right by my house. It's on the outskirts of Boulder, and it's just so happens to be exactly where I live on the outskirts of Boulder. So it's basically like 2 miles away from my house. So awesome, super close. So I finally went in today and checked it out, and it was awesome. So if anyone's in Boulder and wants to check out some cross stitching, it's called Gypsy Wools. It's at 75th and Arapahoe. And I was very restrained. I picked out tons of things and then put them back. I was really good. But I did end up getting a Stacey Nash primitive. It's called Blackwater Hollow Sampler. And it's, I think, kind of like, to me, it's kind of Halloween-y. Now, there were some other I had like 3 Stacey Nash primitives patterns, but I put them back. So I only got that one. She had, I think, the entire line of Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works. So the next time I run out of like a Weeks or a Gentle Arts for a pattern, it's nice to know that I can go like right down the street and get another one and not have to make the 40-minute drive to Denver. I'm absolutely still going to go to the stitching shop in Denver because they have certainly way more things there. But it's nice to know that I have a closer option, like if I'm not wanting to drive that far. So she didn't have all the threads, you know, she just had those 2 for Fancy Floss, and then she has this, I can't say it, Soy d'Angers, those silks that are super expensive. She has that range too. And then she has some Valdanis. But, you know, she doesn't have like Glorianas or Dinky Dyes, like just, you know, a nice curated selection. But her patterns, she had a lot of patterns. And if you like that kind of primitive style, then you will find something. She doesn't have like Country Cottage Needleworks or Little House. She doesn't have like, you know, I think more of the cutesy stuff. She has more of like the primitive, like Brenda Gervais, Stacey Nash, like that kind of style. And then she had a really good selection of fabrics, and she'll custom cut them. So I just grabbed 2 like scraps. I'm pretty sure this is Earthen by Picture This Plus. It's kind of a weird cut, but I think it was like $7, so I just grabbed it because I knew I'd find something I could stitch on it. It's 32 count. And then I grabbed this cut of Weeks Dye Works Kudzu 32 count. And it's just, again, just a nice little cut. So that's all I got. 2 little cuts of fabric and 1 pattern. I was really, really restrained. I put stuff back. I can go back anytime and get more stuff if I so desire. Okay, what else did we have? So then the last little bit of haul will also lead us into whips. So I finally got my hand-dyed fabrics by Stephanie Black Friday order. On the invoice, she actually wrote, "Yours was the last order to go out from this sale." I'm like, yeah, I know, I've been waiting. But it is really pretty. It's beautiful. So I got all I got was 1 piece of Polywog Princess in 32 count. And I got it for this Mirabilia Snow Queen. So I started it. Now, one thing about the fabric, I used the Fabric Viewer website, which is awesome. And that's how I settled on Polywog Princess for this pattern. But on the Fabric Viewer, it was just kind of a dusty purple. In real life, there's a lot of green on here. The green did not show up on the fabric viewer. So I don't know about the green. I think it's going to work though. I mean, I think it's really pretty, but I definitely didn't expect all this green. So I'm hoping, because there's a lot of blue in this pattern and not any green. So I'm hoping when it's all said and done, it's not weird, but I really just couldn't be bothered to wait for another piece of fabric. So I just went for it. So here's my little start. So all the empty spots are where beads are going. And then here's a bigger view of the fabric. I really can't tell how well this is showing up. Let me find something to put behind it. I have like a really terrible glare in my mirror, so I don't know. Hopefully that's showing up okay. So yeah, just a little start. I'm on, I think I started right in the center, so I'm sort of like right here. And I'm going in like 10 by 10 squares because I don't know, it was really dense for me and I was afraid I was going to lose my place. So that's why I have all these threads sticking out everywhere. I don't actually usually stitch like that. I usually kind of just work by color, finish a color and move on. But with this one, again, I was so afraid I was going to lose my place. So I'm just going in 10 by 10 squares. And that's why I have all these random threads sticking out everywhere. And I think I'm going to kind of start putting some beads on. I think I'm going to kind of bead as I go, because again, it's just going to be too easy to lose my place. So I went and bought some Nymo thread at Michael's, and I think I'm going to add some beads. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with how that's coming along. This is a needle minder I made myself with, it's like some buttons from Michael's, I think. They're in the scrapbooking section, like the embellishment section, I think is where I got it. But it's a button. But I cut off the little back part where you would sew the button on, and then I just glued a magnet on. It works great. Speaking of needle minders, I want to show you guys some needle minder stuff I got. So my very favorite way to make needle minders, and it's so easy, is to buy a button, like a button that you pin on your jacket or your purse or whatever. Buy a button, remove the back part, and all I do is take some pliers, grab it and twist until the wire breaks, and then I just pull it out. It takes about 40 seconds. You pull that out, you slap a rare earth magnet on the back, and you have a needle minder. It is that simple. You can get those rare earth magnets like anywhere. I actually like to get them at Home Depot, but anywhere you can find them. And they work great. Like the easiest needle minder you'll ever make. Just pull the back off, throw a magnet on it, and there you go. So let me show you some buttons I've bought recently that I plan to make into needle minders. So, this is a Star Wars tattoo. Oh, sorry guys. I feel like I'm like bouncing that a lot, but hopefully that's in focus. Again, I've got a horrible glare right now. This one says Honorary Gilmore Girl. This one is Luke's Gilmore Girls. So this was a 4-pack of Gilmore Girls buttons. Life's short, talk fast. And then what other one was from there? In Omnia Paratus? I can't remember how you say it. And then I got this one, Goonies Never Say Die. And then I've got a Darth tattoo. The other one was Kylo Ren. And then I got some elf buttons. I'm going to make these into needle minders. Hilarious. probably the funniest Christmas movie I know of. Then I found these random buttons at TJ Maxx, actually. I thought they were funny. The macaroon one is really cute. The circle of life, and it's a pizza. Also, they had these, which my favorite is one that says girls just want to have funs. And then also at Marshall's, I found these. These are actually really nice, like enamel pins. But same kind of concept. You take some pliers and you break off the pen part and slap a magnet on it. I thought these were great. It says, let's talk about it. Slice, slice, baby. And fries before guys. So there's like 20 needle minders. Because, you know, I need more. Haha. Okay, what else do we have? I've got some more whips to show you. But first I want to talk about someone... on my last video, her name was Jennifer, and she asked me about the fabric I dyed for the Harry Potter class schedule sale. And I haven't done February. But let me show you. You've already seen, like, I've got January done. So, there's January. And then, so here's my fabric that I dyed myself. And so she asked me if I could talk a little bit about that process. I'm not fancy, you guys. So here's what I did. I had a piece of 28 count even weave. It was a pale blue. It was kind of like, maybe like the pale, like just a very, very pale blue. Like a dusty pale blue. So here's how I dye my fabric. I buy these tie-dye bottles, and I don't pay very much for them. I found them at like Ross or TJ Maxx for like 99 cents, or a 3-pack for $2. I don't know. I don't pay a lot. You add some water. It's just it's powder in the bottle. You add some water, you shake it up. I also at Hobby Lobby had found this one. It's yarn dye. It came in a kit with some yarn, and it was on clearance. And it came with like 4 colors, but it's the same concept. You add some water, you shake it up. So I took a black one and a dark gray one. I think it was called Stormy and Onyx. And it was this yarn dye. It's a Tulip is the brand. Shook it up, and then I just like flung it at the fabric outside. Like, it was not a creative process, guys. Like, just... So I did the gray, I did the black, I did some more gray, like, until I was happy with the way it looked. Really didn't know how it was going to turn out. Then I let it dry. Or no, I let it sit. It didn't really dry. I let it sit for like 4 hours, and then I rinsed it. And this is what I had. It kind of turned out better than I expected, and I probably got pretty lucky. But that's pretty much how I dye my fabric. I've also done those same like powder tie-dyes, but put them in a spray bottle and then just kind of sprayed fabric. But it's all a crapshoot, and it just turns out however it turns out. The interesting thing about doing that black and gray dye was I ended up with these random blurbs of like purple, yellow, and blue. I don't know if you can see some of those. So like here's like a magenta one. And that's just from black and gray dye. But I end up with like these kind of random colors. Like rainbow spots. It totally works with this fabric, and I don't mind it. But when I want a very specific look, I certainly will just buy my fabric, because I'm no expert dyer, let me tell you. So that's my process. Jennifer had asked me, so there you go. Okay, so what else did I stitch on? I feel like I'm all over the place. Like there is no rhyme or reason to this video. Okay, so right after our video, my last video, I went back to Guardians of Notre Dame Sal by Ingleside Imaginarium, and I finished February, and I am still in love with this Sal. Oh, this was another piece of fabric that I hand dyed. Just threw some blue dye on a white cashel. Just flung it out at it. All right, so here is February is the purple. January is the gray blue one. So, I finally got my Gentle Arts Moonlit Path, so I had to start filling in the border, and I didn't want to, but I didn't have an excuse any longer not to. It took me ages, but I did fill in the border all the way for January and February. I certainly didn't work ahead. I don't like doing the border. So, yeah, I'm just going to do the border with each section. I probably won't ever get really motivated to work much farther ahead on that. I'm using all the charted colors, which are just DMC, with the exception of that one Gentle Arts. Okay, so then I went back to, I hadn't planned to, but I don't remember why, but I went back to Little House Needleworks, the bookshelf. I think because I saw someone on the Jane Austen Sal working on it, and I was like, you know, I'm really, like, it's a small piece. I could finish it. Maybe I just need to work on it instead of putting it away. So here's what it looks like. And I'm like, I converted most of the colors to like whatever classic colorworks I had handy. But keeping with the same tone, like a green for a green and a brown for a brown, but just like with whatever I had. So let me get some white to hold up. So this is where I am. I had like just the Sense and Sensibility and a little bit of the Secret Garden done. So I finished, you know, I did more of this border, finished the Secret Garden, started the Little Women. And this is just such a delight to stitch on. It's really nice. But I only worked on it for a few days, and I had to, you know, move on to the next thing because, man, you guys, I just want to stitch on everything lately, and it's really hard because there just aren't enough hours in the day, you know, and every day there's like 5 things I want to work on and I can't. You know how it goes. Need more hours. Just want to work on everything. So then I decided I wanted to give some love to like a whip that I hadn't worked on in a while. And I decided to work on the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Happily Ever After, which was the 2017 Sal, because I'm actually pretty close to being done on this. So I thought, you know what? Why don't you just put some time in that and like finish it? Well, I didn't finish it, but I did put some time into it, and I'm really close to a finish. So, here's where I am. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. So I just have the bottom to finish. And so what I did was I started on this border, and the border is a pain. It's really a pain. And so I started on the border, and then I was just going to start, you know, filling in this block. And then I just like, was like, just get the border over with. Like, just get it over with. So I actually kept working the border and then went over to this corner. So this was actually the last block, but I went ahead and finished the border and then was like, I didn't want to move the Q snaps back. So I was like, fine, whatever. Who cares what order I do it in? And so I did Sleeping Beauty, which was the December block. And so then I just have to go back in and do King Arthur, and then the middle block is Pride and Prejudice. So for my Jane Austen Sal, March we're starting Pride and Prejudice. So instead of like working on it now, I was like, I'll just hold off until March, and then that'll fit perfectly with the Sal. So I think I'll go back to this in March, although I do have several Pride and Prejudice themed patterns I can work on, so I don't have to do this one, but I think I will because it's small and it's cute and I'm so close to a finish. So I just have those 2 blocks left to fill in. I did the border, I just have to fill them in. Let me show you again what those look like that I have left to do. I've got to do King Arthur and Lizzie and Mr. Darcy. Just that. And then I'll have a finish. That's actually, it's really fun to stitch. That border is a pain, but stitching just the pattern overall, it's really nice. I don't know. It's fun. I like it. I might be a little sad to finish it, but, and then I worked on the Snow Queen. So you saw that. And then I was, a couple days ago, I started and finished, within a few days, a pattern by the Sampler Girl, Jane Austen to Eleanor's Room. And this is again for the Sal because this month, January and February was Sense and Sensibility, and this is from Sense and Sensibility. So there's the pattern. I knew it'd be a nice quick stitch, and it was. And I finished it. I did it on 28 count even weave, the color Ivory, I believe. I subbed a couple, like it's all DMC, but I didn't have some of the called for DMC, so I just grabbed something close to it because I don't think this pattern needed to be exact. So I have a finish. There's my finish. I didn't mean to make the margins so little. It just sort of happened. So whatever. It's enough for me to do a finish. I don't need a lot of margin. But I don't know what I want to do with it yet for a finish. Probably like a mounted, like I'll mount it on cardboard with some batting, but then I don't know, like, do I want to put it in a frame or do something like Priscilla inspired? I'm not sure. But maybe next video I'll show you what I decided. So that was my whips. So I worked on 5 things. I finished 1. I'm close to finishing. But funny enough, I didn't work on like some of the things I told you I wanted to work on. Never got to those. So future plans, I'm gonna do the Harry Potter class schedule Sal for sure, and then I don't know where I'm going after that. I have an idea, but I kind of just see what strikes me at the time. So we'll see. Next video, we'll see. We'll see what we do. Okay, I think that's all I've got for now. I'm really sorry again, guys. I was kind of rambling and all over the place. I didn't really plan ahead. I just scratched a couple notes and then sat down, and this is what you get. Haha. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully next video I'll be a little more organized and coherent. And I really feel like I'm forgetting to tell you guys something, but I guess I'll think of it next time. So anyway, thanks for watching. That's all I've got today. I'll see you again, hopefully sometime soon. Bye, guys.